Have you ever stood at a coffee counter, turned the iPad around, and suddenly been faced with tip suggestions of 18%, 20%, or even 25%? You probably were not planning to tip that much, but seeing those numbers makes it hard to press no tip or to type in something smaller. That's not an accident, it's psychology at work. Businesses know that by simply suggesting amounts, they can shift how much you give. And the results are huge. From taxi drivers in New York earning millions more to delivery apps doubling their tipping rates. So, why do suggested tips work so well? And where do they sometimes go too far? Hi, I'm Akanksha, and this is The Storyteller's Lens. Today, we are going to unpack the psychology behind tipping suggestions, the anchoring effect, social norms, and loss aversion that makes us tip more. So, what's really going on when we see suggested tip amounts? First, there is the anchoring effect. When we are shown numbers like 18, 20, or 25%, those become our reference points. Even if 15% used to feel normal, the anchor has shifted upward. Second, there is a social norms framing. The very act of putting those numbers on a screen implies that this is what polite society expects. Choosing less feels like breaking the norm. Third, it's about choice architecture or nudging. By curating the options, businesses guide our behavior without ever forcing us. And fourth, loss aversion plays a role. Pressing the lowest option feels like taking away from the server. Even if it is objectively fine, it feels stingy. The clever part is framing. If the lowest option is 18%, that becomes the new stingy but acceptable. If it's 15, then 15 feels fair. This is not just a theory. We have strong evidence. So in New York City, when taxis introduced touchscreen payments with preset tips of 25, 20, 25, or 30%, the average tip jumped from around 10% to 22%. Economists from NYU and Chicago both calculated that this raised drivers' annual income by $144 million. Suggested tips don't just raise the average, they also increase the probability of leaving any tip at all. But there is a ceiling. If the defaults are too high, say 30% or more, some customers push back or skip tipping entirely. Uber and Uber Eats found the same pattern. When in-app prompts suggested 15, 20, or 25%, tipping rates nearly doubled compared to when users had to type a custom amount. And it's not just tipping. The UK's Behavioral Insights team found the same anchor effect in charity donations. Suggested amounts at fundraisers significantly raised average contributions. So, why do our brains fall for this? First, anchoring and adjustment. We unconsciously latch on to the suggested numbers and adjust only slightly, even if the anchor is arbitrary. Second, normative pressure. The list feels like a social script. Choosing lower feels like saying, I am the cheap one. Third, it's about self image. Tipping below the suggestion doesn't just signal something to others, it affects how we see ourselves. And finally, there is effort reduction. It's easier to press a button than to calculate or type a custom number. And the path of least resistance usually means the higher option. This has transformed entire industries. In restaurant and hospitality, point of sale systems like Square or Toast use preset options. Setting the range at 18, 20, and 25% consistently produces higher tips than 15, 18, and 20. In ride hailing and delivery apps, suggested ranges combined with social proof. Most people tip 20%, nudge customers higher. In charity fundraising, donation pages with suggested levels like 25, 50, or $100 consistently outperform blank entry boxes. But this tool can backfire. We are now seeing what people call tipflation, When you are prompted to tip 25 or 30% at a coffee counter for a simple transaction, it can feel manipulative. Survey in the US show around two-thirds of consumers believe tipping culture has gone too far. Over-anchoring can also create distrust. If the numbers feel extortionate, people push back, sometimes tipping less or complaining publicly. Context matters. So, in fine dining, higher suggestions feel appropriate, but in casual grab and go settings, they can create resentment. And cultural differences are huge. Americans tip generously, but in Europe, the practice is far less common. In Japan, tipping is not only rare, but sometimes considered rude. So, how do businesses know where the line is? Number one, they run experiments. Rotate the lowest suggestion tip, 15 versus 18 versus 20%, and track the change in averages. Monitor tip frequency, the percentage of customers tipping at all. Track employee earnings and turnover. Are higher tips actually helping staff? And watch sentiment data, complaints on receipts, social media backlash, and survey responses. We have already mentioned New York taxis, where defaults transform driver incomes. Starbucks introduced tipping prompts in the US in 2022 on card payments, with options like $1, $2, or custom amounts. For some, this felt like fair recognition of baristas. For others, it sparked backlash because tipping had not been the norm at the counter. Square's point of sale tablets spread tipping culture into coffee shops and quick service outlets. It boosted staff wages but also created fatigue among customers who felt constantly pressured. These examples show the fine line. Suggested tips can be a powerful lever, but the design has to feel fair. So, what's the big picture? Suggested tip amounts work because they anchor expectations and frame social norms. People want to avoid looking cheap, and defaults make tipping easier. For businesses, this can mean better staff earnings, higher loyalty, and stronger culture if it is done ethically. For consumers, it's a reminder that our spending isn't always rational. Our brains are nudged by the numbers in front of us. But overreach creates backlash. The sweet spot is to suggest amounts that feel like norms, not extortion. Hi, I'm Akanksha, and this is The Storyteller's Lens. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe and let me know in the comments. Do you feel pressured by tip suggestions or do you think they are fair? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.